All right, all right, all right. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight, we're gonna be talking about Jane Doe's testimony of the Diddy trial in day. I think they're on day 20. Now, she testified over the weekend. Over last week, and she's back on the stand today. And last week, she talked about how she got introduced to doing these, what they call hotel nights. Now, originally with Cassie, they were called freak offs. And then Diddy decided to rename them for her and call them hotel nights. And they talked about how they would do, or how Diddy would have her do one guy, two guy, three guy, four guys. She talked about how her poom poom would be sore, on fire, infections, UTIs, all kind of things of the things. And today they're continuing on in the coverage. Now, the mention of Cassie's lawsuit was brought up today. There was also mention of the fact that she was pushing to have a love contract with Diddy, how she wanted him to, pay her bills, how she said that she knew what she was signing up for, and how there was this secret recording that, I guess she was being secretly recorded and all of that. So there's a lot that's coming out today, and we're going to go on over it. We got to head on over to Inner City Press. Now, I like to wait a little bit. I don't like to go live right away because in between there's breaks, and then there's sidebars, and then there's this, that. So I kind of like to wait a little bit before I go live to read it so that we can kind of have more of a seamless live while we're reading the excerpts that Inner City Press is typing up. Now, Inner City Press isn't a court reporter like the one inside the court to where he gets every single word, every single thing. So he just kind of gives us a summary of certain parts of testimony. So in order to get the full scoop, it's good to see the actual transcripts or, be in the courtroom. But she is on the stand. She's been breaking down, crying. When she found out about Cassie's lawsuit, she was mortified at how close Cassie's life mirrored her life. Now, she was doing, banging one guy, two guy, one King Kong pickle and another King Kong pickle, then a triple decker quadruple size pickle, and they all had to smash and pound and pound and pound. And she read through Cassie's lawsuit and realized that she's not the only one that he may believe that getting pound by these triple decker size cucumbers and back to back and sword twats and all. And she felt like she was reading her own trauma. Okay, she said, listen, I am looking at the things that Cassie went through and seeing that this is my own trauma as well. So we're going to go through all of that. If you guys have not hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. Also, too, I don't be talking real fast. I don't have the energy that some YouTubers have, okay? I am completely, and not saying that nobody is on anything. I'm just saying I'm not, okay? And I don't have, so we gonna chill, we gonna roll. If you guys want to get through the stream a little bit faster and you feel like, okay, Neek, we want to get to the meat and potatoes a little bit quicker, go to the settings and up the playback speed, okay? You can't up the playback speed while I'm live, but when I'm not live, you can up the playback speed and speed me up a little bit, okay? Because I'm sober and chilling. I'm sober and chilling, okay? So anyways, let's get into it. Oh, the trolls have arrived. Oh, wow. I didn't think the trolls would be arriving so quickly. hold on. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button, and let's just do this real quick. Okay, boom. There we go. Now we are getting started. All right, so let's go to the top of the top and let's get into today's testimony because it has been a lot being said. There are people who feel like Jane is not a victim, and then there are people who feel like she was, because whether you decide to get pounded by monster King Kong pickles or not, and you say, listen, this is what I want to do to secure my $10,000 a month home, you can change your mind at any point, okay? And it seems as though, you said my mic is low. Hold on. It seems as though after everybody got a point to where, is it louder? After everybody got to a point to where they didn't want to do it anymore, he used all kind of manipulative tactics to make them do these King Kong dinglings or whatever like that. You said it was not, so do I go back? Y'all want me to go back or what? Anyway, y'all say y'all hear me just fine. Did it boost it up louder, or is it better now? Y'all let me know before we go. It was fine. Did I mess it up? Or is it still okay? Y'all let me know so that I can make my adjustments. Okay. He said just leave it. Okay. All right. All right, so let's get into it. So let me actually too let me put a poll. Let's do a poll, because like I said, there are a lot of people who feel as though she was not 19 when she met Diddy. She was not underage. People feel as though she was well into her 30s. She was already had a name for herself. She already had motion to where she did not have to do this. And it was not a situation like Cassie where he was in control of her career, and he also was a person that got to her at a super young age. So y'all, let me put a poll real quick, because people feel like, girl, you was a grown woman, okay? And then there are people who feel like she was taken advantage of because of his money, power, and influence. There are people who feel like he had the money, the means, the power, the influence. He knew how to manipulate these women. He knew how to make them do what he wanted to do, and he abused his power. Now, I think that each woman that he dealt with, whether they were consenting or not, I think that he went overboard with them. I think that he went overboard with every single woman that he got engaged with, because he could not control his urge to see these triple-decker peckers. He wanted to see these big monster peckers, and he got off on that. He could not get off on just him and his, whether it's a Tootsie Roll or not, going shebang. He needed to see these big black triple-decker peckers pounding these women no matter what, and that's what he was getting off on. And so I feel like he took it to the extreme a lot. Now, let's get into my question. Do you think Jane All right, so that's the poll right there. Before we get into it, somebody said, I believe the Tootsie Roll rumors. I'm a channel. I try not to divulge into a lot of rumors like that, but there is no way that an average guy who has, and he just not giving BDE. So there's no way that a guy is having a woman get pounded by these big bazooka dongs, and then after she gets pounded by 1 bazooka dong, 3 bazooka dong, 4 bazooka dong, then you go out and you put your in her. You can't. There's no way you're really getting satisfaction off of that. The satisfaction that he was getting was what came out of their dong. That's what it was. It wasn't nothing about her. Like, he wasn't, there's like, you think he really was feeling it? He was not. Like, there's no way somebody is stretched to that magnitude back to back to back, and then you follow afterwards and then you get a sensation. There's no way. I don't know. He was aroused by something totally different, like totally different, which is crazy. But let's get into the testimony of today. And I'm still debating on if I'm going to go to New York or not. I know I've been saying that for the past days. But literally every day I'm like, book a flight, not book a flight. Book a flight, not book a flight. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. And then you got to think too, like, all of them, like, he didn't like them to use a rubber. So it's like all of them different type of fluids. Everybody, even men, have different pHs or whatever. And if your pH gets linked with this person's pH, and then you get another pH that links with your pH, there is no way that wasn't a funky mess, okay? There is no way that was not a funky mess. Or maybe your body gets used to it. I don't know. I know that my body wouldn't tolerate. I don't know. But I've never put my body through that. I know that with training, you know, your body gets used to things. You can train your body to eat 1 meal a day. You can train your body to do all kind of things. Maybe your body gets used to it. I don't know. But I just would feel like all of them different fluids mixing in, that just smells like vaginosis. But anyways, I keep going off topic. So let's get to it. So the jury came in. Yeah. Weekly. Yo Poo-Tang is going on a spiral weekly. You know. And then having hot, remember, his whole thing was he liked it hot, okay? They testified that the room temperature had to be hot. He liked it hot and steamy. So it's hot, it's steamy, and it's weekly. You already know. You already know. That's not given. Talking about we would advance the room with Glade candles. I don't even think Glade candles. And then who testified that he liked it a little musky in the room? Who said that it was a little musky in the room? One of them said he liked it a little musky or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's get to it. All rise. Are the people in attendance Are the jurors seated? Is all rise while the judge enters the courtroom. Settle down now. Settle down. Settle down. The judge is about to take the bench. All right. Everybody rise. All right. All right. Everybody. All right. You can now please be seated. Please be seated. Please be seated. Let's get into the contents of today. Ooh, child. All right. All right. All right. So it says, all rise. Jane, you are still under oath. Good morning. Oh, you know what? Who wants to come up and read her parts? I feel like it'd be easier if like I be like the prosecutor or I be Jane and then somebody else is like Jane. And then I read a line, y'all read a line. Never mind, that's too advanced maybe. I don't know. I feel like that would be more interesting. Anyways, so good morning, Jane. Good morning, Miss Comey. Published this photo to the jury, but not the screen in the public gallery. They wanted to know who was in the picture. She said that was Sean's security. And then they showed her another photo, and then she said that was his deputy butler. And then she wanted to know, who did you call ATL? The entertainer Sly, because he lived in Atlanta. Your message to Sean, was it about, I guess probably, was it about Sly? My trip to New York in 2023, he wrote, send me some ish of you being bad. Then Sean says, I got phones, just sent me what I don't have. And then she says, don't say no to me, please. What did you write? I wrote, you're traveling with our phone? So basically, they used to make their little freaky videos, and they would make their videos of the hotel freak-offs that they would have, and they would record them. And so that used to be something for them to watch together when they're not having her bang, 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 bang back to back. So he's telling her like, oh, I got the phone, but send me some I don't have. She said, you're traveling with our phone? You mean not Sean's two main phones? Yes, his assistant had access to those. I wrote, you're using this to get your D hard for someone else. And he said, what did you say? I wrote, I'm not coming to New York. You just want me there for a hotel binge. Why did you say that? I saw a podcast. What about? Sean bragging about having hanky-panky for 48 hours straight on a yacht to an island near Miami. When did the podcast air? A month after Sean said he'd take me on that yacht trip. Ciao. So she's realizing that he over here bragging about his rendezvous and all of that on podcasts. All right. It says, what has Sean said he'd do with you on this yacht? Objection, overruled. That after a 2-day hotel night, we go and do more on the yacht, but we never left. Had to recuperate. I saw on social media he took a girlfriend there. Remember, we used to see Young Miami on the yacht. What did you write in your notes app? I wrote, I don't want to come to New York to be treated like a hoe. Why did you write this in your notes app? I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure I was going to send it. But did you send a version of it? Yes. What did Sean reply? He said it was just podcast talk. I said, you took her to the Bahamas on a yacht, not me, like you promised after a hotel night. So she mad because he probably took Miami, young Miami, like, okay, you said you was going to take me on the yacht after I banged these big monster triple-decker peckers. I done did what you wanted me to do and banged these triple-decker peckers. In exchange, you was supposed to take me on the yacht. You took this other woman to the Bahamas, and then you took her on the yacht that you was supposed to take me on after I just shaboinged all of these men for you? Is you crazy? All right. So that's basically what she's saying. Like, child, you took this other woman on the yacht. I was supposed to be rewarded for hunching on these triple-decker peckers. And you gonna take her? So, it says, they said, oh, damn. She said, it says, can you read your text? She says, I quoted him on the podcast. You made Papa proud. You wrote, I don't want to feel obligated that you'll stop paying my rent. What did you mean? The guilty, trippy things that he would say that I had to perform. For how long had you felt that? Since I got the home in April 2023. Play the exhibit. Combs' voice. This is a true open relationship. Why do you have to make it a problem? Now I'm sick. How did you reply to this voice message? I called me back and then we had a FaceTime. He said all things to calm me down. What did you send Sean from the plane to New York? A photo of my outfit. Where were you planning to wear it? To dinner. What did Sean send you? He said, we're going to dinner. Did you? We went to a late night lounge type of thing. All right. And so, not you in the comments talking about I'm old. What the heck is a triple decker pecker? No Diddy. You know what it is especially if you gonna hashtag no Diddy afterwards. You know what the triple decker pecker is. Child, don't play. Don't play. All right. So, they said, I'll read this for you. You wrote, I miss my hard dick. And I wrote, yes, I have my passport with me. Then, what did you write? I wrote, you turn me on so crazy. Can't wait. After the flight took off, I got a message from Sean. What did Sean ask you? Where Sly was. Then he asked, entertainment or movie light? Let me know. I'll get a hotel. How did you react? I felt upset and a little defeated. Child, so she over here thinking that she just gonna have to, chill with Diddy, satisfy him to the point to where, her rent is secure. She got her $10,000 amount house. And then she like, it's just gonna be me and him. I'm gonna fly out. He told me that it's just gonna be the two of us. And then when she get there, he worried about the nigga with the triple decker pecker. Now I Google Sly. All right. I Google Sly and his dong is big. It's a big one. Okay. It's a big dong. Now it was another one who had an even bigger one that she was fooling around with as well. All right. So she over here thinking that Puffy is worried about seeing her, but in reality, he only focused about where Sly is, the dude with the big black Kang dangalang. Now, if you look at Sly, it's also interesting too because Sly looks young, Okay? Like, he looks really young in the face. So it's like, you got kids around Sly's age, but you got him and you turn on by seeing his big wanky swanging and going inside of Jane. All of that is a whole lot. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. A whole lot. A whole lot. It's a whole lot of. All right. So, child, she like, you over here acting like you wanted me, but you worried about Sly? Anyways, so she said he wanted to know where Sly was. Y'all think that on the times where they was done, do you think that he ever had alone time with these entertainers? I don't know. I guess we'll find out when Sly or whoever gets on the stand. If they testify, I'm sure they're going to testify. It says, he said, where was Sly? Then asked, entertainment or movie night? Let me know. I'll get a hotel. I felt upset and a little defeated. What did you send next? Baby, just got Wi-Fi again. What did Sean write? He said, check the red phone. The other message he sent me, he said, I have a surprise for you. Just one. So you already know that probably means you ain't got to bang 4 peckers. Just one. That's probably what that means. Just one will do. All right. And then they said, what did you take it to mean? That there be somebody new. And then she starts crying. There be somebody new. Who? An entertainer. I hated it. What did Sean send you? A picture of a man. I rolled my eyes. I wrote back. It's not loading. We're landing now. What did you send Sean? I suggested we go to Capa Criprania or whatever that says. But I was driven to the Trump Hotel. I put on my outfit. What happened that night? He was late. We went to that lounge. We bickered a bit. He was defensive, but we went to the room and Sly came in. What did you text to Sly? I asked if he could come to New York. I felt I needed to make it up to Sean. Like, imagine the psyche to where you feel like in order to make it up to my man, like, oh, me and my man just got into it, so I got to make it up to him. And to make it up to him is you getting pounded by somebody else that's not even your man. Like, oh, I don't. You know how you arguing with your man, y'all get into it or whatever. You like, okay, I'ma add some extra spit to the sloppy toppy today. You know, you wanna spice it up just a little bit. You know, if you normally add 2 of spit, this time you want to do 3, and then you ain't even doing nothing special for your man. You making it up for your man is getting banged by Sly, who's banging all these random women himself, and then you got to do it with no protection. Child, crazy. Is it really worth having a $10,000 house? Is it really worth? I don't know. I would be in my little raggedy. I'd be in a raggedy apartment, child. So they said Sly came in. What happened? Okay, we went to the room and Sly came. What did you text to Sly? I asked if he could come to New York. I felt I needed to make it up to Sean. Did he come to the Trump Hotel? And did you and he have shaboing session in front of Sean? Yes. After that New York trip, where did you see Sean? in Miami at a hotel. Did you two take these pictures? All right, so they showed her and him in a picture. We had Sly in Miami as well. Then I went back to LA. We had an argument there. Tell us why. He wanted to set up a party. He wanted me to reach out to entertainers. I noticed something online that he was with an ex-girlfriend of his. I was furious. So he out here, he slanging his wanky or spending time with all of these other women, but her, she got a hunch on these P-stars. Sure. She said, listen, he out with an ex-girlfriend, but you want me to contact these P-stars so that they could bang me? But you out with your ex? Did you ever speak with any of these other women? No, I found out on Instagram. The text messages, October 15, 2023. Please read what you wrote. I text, you got that girl next you? Her BS is already starting. Meaning drama. I told Sean, introduce her to P. She said, she said, listen, you want to be with her? You introduce her to the big black King Kong pecker weckers. Because, you know, P is one of the other entertainers that was shaboinking her as well. That's another person that was shaboinging. So she like, you want to entertain these other females? Introduce her to the big black kangalang. Child. Period. She said, they said, who is P? Paul, one of the entertainers. Then I wrote, I am not a P-star. These experiences are desensitizing hanky-panky for me. But I mean, can you imagine? Of course it would. Like, do you even have feeling down there anymore? Does it even child? All right, so look at this text on October 16, 2023. The same fight. Please read these. I wrote, I don't want to be effed in these rooms. I felt there was more pressure on me than the others. There was an imbalance. I had to earn basic things for my romance, love and romance. He was giving it to others. He was clearly capable of it. So she realized that he was letting her out while the other women, according to what she saw on Instagram, was they didn't have to do as much as she did, but she don't know what they got to do neither. But she's assuming you know what I mean? She's probably assuming that he's parading around Young Miami and she's a rap superstar. So she's probably assuming that you got me, the girl who I'm an influencer, but I'm not as famous as her. So she's probably assuming that this other girl don't have to do all of that, but you don't know what that other girl got to do too. Because clearly he has a kink. And I don't think that one woman is going to satisfy that kink. Because his kink is not about the women or sleeping with the women. He is more interested in the men being a part of the equation. So I wouldn't even be surprised if his wanker didn't even work for just a session that didn't involve a man. You know, it seems like a man has to get it going. Either he got to look at a man, get it going on a video, or he has to physically see a man get it going. But she's assuming, like a lot of us do, a lot of women will assume and be like, oh, well, you know, you got me doing this, she ain't got to do it. But you don't know what these girls is doing. Because a lot of these girls is willing to do something strange for a piece of change. And Young Miami was talking about how she couldn't sleep. She was up hours on end. She had podcasts talking about how Diddy could go all night. And we know he wasn't going all night by himself. We know he wasn't going all night by himself. Child. She said, I wrote, I don't want to be effed in these rooms. I felt there was more pressure on me than the others. There was an imbalance. I had to earn basic things for my romance. Love and romance, he was giving it to others. He was clearly capable of it. I wrote, it's been 3 years of me having to F strangers. Child, can you imagine? Can you imagine you pouring your heart out? Like, you literally pouring your heart out to a guy that's just letting you out. And she's over here pouring her heart out like, you just got me effing guys. Like, you got these other girls. And then his response is, so are we breaking up? Bitch. Oh. Oh, hell no. Can you imagine? You'd have just poured your whole heart out. Like, can you see me for me and not these men pounding me? Like, I thought that was what's gonna make you happy, and I'm doing that, and I'm tired of doing that. I just want you. And then his response is, are we breaking up? Like, what are you saying? Like, so you breaking up with me? Because clearly, you're getting shaboing by triple-decker peckers if you with me. But if you cool with that, and I mean, if you're cool on that, then are we breaking up? Like, what you want? Like, you know, what do you want? Because that's where this audio comes in at, to where he basically is like, get with the program, okay? Get with the program. Hold on, let me show y'all this audio that was played in court on Friday. He like, this is where this come in at, child. She over there like, I'm tired of getting, and he like, child, get with the program or get off the bus.
I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know, you think you silent treating me, and you think I'm going to be, nah. You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence. And ain't nobody threatening you, and I ain't trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I ain't got no time for no motherfucking games. Where my life is at right now, I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you could be mad, I could have a spat, we could have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really, that's all it is. Cause you got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. So either you go in the direction of like moving on and shit like that, or you like just like have me just keep moving. Ain't no threat, I'm just being clear. I can't do this shit with you every time you get upset. Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but
child, that's where this message came in at. That's where this message came in at. Like, listen, I'm paying your rent. I'm paying $10,000 a month for your rent. In exchange for me paying your rent, you have to get donkey by the biggest donks in the business. Now, if you do not allow me to see you get donkey, then you can get to stepping, because I covered my end of the bargain. My end of the bargain was to pay your rent. I did that. Your end of the bargain is to get smutted out. You're not trying to do that, and it's either or. Now, you know, she had a choice. All right? That was the work that he wanted her to do. Now, the work that he wanted her to do, a lot of people are feeling like, well, it's her choice and she chose to do the latter of getting the triple-decker peckers. But pimping is illegal. I think a lot of people in there thinking like, okay, well, you know, she chose to do it and she didn't have to do it, which is true, but that's not legal. He's pimping her out, which is illegal. All right. And so just because somebody pays your rent, that doesn't mean that they could put you on, like, he not putting her on a blade or on a stroll, but he's basically is in the bedroom. You know what I mean? So it's still illegal what he's doing, but she decided that's what she wanted to do. So she partook in the activity for that $10K a month. All right? So, but a lot of people feel as though since she chose, then there is no victim in it. All right? But whether you perceive her as a victim does not mean that the action wasn't illegal. Get what I'm saying? Like, whether or not you perceive her as a victim, him, quote unquote, pimping her out is still illegal. Like, there are 304s right now on Fig, and they want to go out and make the money for their pimp, but that doesn't mean that what they're doing is legal. Get what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like, that doesn't make it legal. But anyway, let's continue. You said pimps don't pay though, they get paid. Yeah, that's true, but this is a different type of pimping. It's different type of pimping. He pimping her out the reverse way. All right, she said, I wrote, it's been 3 years of me having to F strangers. He wrote, so we're breaking up? Is that what you were proposing? No. I wrote, I need a break spiritually. Then she starts crying. I wrote, having hanky-panky is sacred to me. I wrote, you always push me to do more and more. I said, I need time to myself. I said, and then Diddy's lawyer wanted a sidebar. So they went on sidebar, and then they went on a long break. And then it says, the judge says, please be seated, Miss Comey. Please bring Jane back. So they said, what did Sean write to you? He wrote, I want to spend the day with you. I wrote, you make it crystal clear exactly what you want me for. You're going to spend the day love bombing me? What did you mean? Sean is very love bombing. I said, I'm not just an animal people can F. He said, you're crazy. How often did he call you crazy? I said, you want me to suck some D so you can get off with Gina? Child, imagine. Can you imagine? He want to smut you off so that he can go and have a good time with another woman? I think Gina was doing it too. I don't think Gina above getting smutted, please. He wasn't having Gina at the awards, her at the awards, Young Miami at the awards, all together. Remember they all was at the Billboard Awards? He was getting like an icon award. Child, please. He wasn't having all them at the awards together and they wasn't doing the same thing. I don't believe it, but that's what she thought. She said, you want to have me S some D so you can get off with Gina? I said, I'm drained. He said, all right, cool. I'll leave you alone. In the next message, does he use your true name? Yes. And does he say, that's my house too? He does. He wrote, I'm coming over. You gotta let me in. You gonna let me in or not? Is your baby there? Are you gonna let me in our house? Again and again. Sean wrote to me, I'm so stressed. I'm horny. What does SMH mean? Shaking my head. He said his knees weren't good. I said I was hitting up my mom. She said taking bone supplements is key. What was he doing on his knees to where he said his knees wasn't good? I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if he had his own moment. He was so turned on by seeing somebody some D. Wouldn't be surprised. So anyways, he said his knees weren't good. So she said, we had the sobriety party at the hotel. First, I went to a concert. I stood with his security. With his security, Jonathan, I went to the store for supplies for the night. Sean was in the hotel waiting. He called me B. What the F taking so long? I got there. His assistant said, you don't deserve to be called a B. All right. So y'all were at the El Mertage. What happened? I didn't want to take any mood enhancers, party enhancers. Who was the first entertainer? The first entertainer was Rico, then Paul, then Anton, then I threw up. Now, mind you, Anton, now I don't know what Paul's ding dong is, and I don't know what Rico's ding dong is, but I Googled Anton, and Anton's ding is bigger than Sly's ding. So she said she had to do Rico, then she had to do Paul, then she had to do Anton. Now, Anton got a big old dang, like a big dang. And then after that, she said she threw up. Then Sean said, good, you threw up. Now you'll feel better. Then I had to do it with Anton. I felt terrible. Whose text is this? Mine. I wrote, baby, I love you. Do you think you can put something in my hotel? Did Sean respond? No. I needed furniture for the house, I wrote. You weren't too busy to make sure Chelsea was ready in D.C. Play the voice note. So there's a voice note, and Diddy says, I don't know where the F Chelsea is. I ain't with no bees. Leave me the F alone. I'm single. What frustrations did you feel? Not being heard about how I felt about the hotel nights. Did you use names for the other women? Yes. It was misdirected anger. I asked, what does the house have to do with what I'm saying? I wrote, I'm not Gina or Cassie. Were you telling Sean you were going to speak out about your relationship? Child. So if she's saying I'm not Gina or Cassie, then you know that Gina was getting smutted out too, for sure. Because Cassie was. And both of them were being quiet about it. All right? Both of them wasn't saying anything. Somebody in the chat said Chelsea is Carisha. I think she did say that was like a code name. But she basically letting him know, like, child, I'm not these girls that you smutted out that don't say nothing. I'm going to say something. All right? So after that, the lawyer said, objection. All right? They said, please read. Did you reference your child? Yes. I said, you got me effed up. Just complete what he promised about the 2 years ago. The 2 years about the home. I said, don't contact me. What did he say in response? He said, I'm super clear now. I said, you had me on a constant pins and needles. Now I'm sick. Leave me alone. Does the next message reference a prior relationship you had? Yes. Then he says, I was told you were crazy. He said, you took it too far, baby girl. You'll see. He was threatening me about the rent, that we don't need to do anything we don't want. She wrote, you're mad at me about a grown A man? Okay, so now it sounds like they arguing about her baby daddy, perhaps. She says, I wrote, you wasted my time in this toxic A relationship. Did you then refer to your previous relationship? Yes. So y'all know on Cross, when Diddy's lawyer goes up, they're going to mention more detail about this baby daddy because they're trying to paint, the prosecution is trying to paint the fact that Jane is such in this like situation to where she had to depend on him or else she was going to be homeless type of thing. And that's why she did it. But the more they bring up who her baby father is, the more that the defense is going to dig into, well, what was the status of your baby daddy? And what was y'all arrangement? We gonna hear that on Cross because they're gonna have to show that she wasn't in no position of get freaked out or be homeless. She said in her beginning of her testimony that she received child support. So I'm going to assume that when Diddy's lawyer gets up there and talk to her, they're going to have to crush and hone in on the fact of finances, how much she was making from whoever this baby daddy is. Whoever he is, we don't know. They're going to have to hone in on who the baby daddy is, how much she was receiving in child support, how much money she was making off of social media brand deals. Because remember, when she testified that she had brand deals. So it's not like, well, we'll find out. Never mind. I'm not going to say it's not like she had to depend on this, but I'm sure we're going to find out whether or not she had to depend on this $10,000 a month home arrangement or not. All right. So she said, you invited me to New York to pair me up with some random man. Any MFer for your own sick. It says, what were you talking about? The two men I had chose for myself, Sly and Anton. Sean kept trying to say I chose them. I had wanted it. I wrote, you want to gaslight me? He wanted me to believe that I wanted these things. What else did he text you? He said, you and me don't have to beef. I said, you created all this evil inside of me. Child, imagine what all that evil is, because the evil ain't just feelings. I'm sure the evil was physically festering down there too. Okay? She said, you created all of this evil inside. Child. And that's where I had to remember that y'all have not hit the like button yet. And y'all have not supported the website neither. And I'm just trying to figure out why y'all playing games. Okay? Why y'all playing games? Y'all playing right now. And then I gotta whip out my Talk to Me Nice fan that's available on my website, because y'all playing and y'all not playing fair with them likes. Child, meanwhile, whoever her baby father is alleged to be, the first baby mama of the chatter of who her baby father allegedly is, have been throwing shots at Jane. I don't want to slip up and say who's who and what is what, but there's been other simultaneous stories going on. Anyway. What y'all talking about? Yeah. Diddy definitely lived vicarious. And I think that was his, because we always thought that Diddy was at the very least bi. But I think this was his way of not actually being gay. You get what I'm saying? Like, instead of him having to take D or suck D, he was very aroused by the D. And so this was his way of saying, I'm not gay, because ain't no man doinking me. But if you're aroused by seeing these men and you want to get their pictures and you want to watch them, come on. Child, it's given. You definitely vicariously gay. So she said, you want to gaslight me? All right. And he said, you and me don't have no beef. And she said, you created all this evil inside of me. I wrote him, I regret everything. All this toxic ish which overran my life. He said, you are burning a bridge that you are going to need tomorrow. I wrote, I don't trust you. He said, 10 hours ago, you loved me. He wrote, it's a free country. I'm an adult and you're an adult. You're writing a whole book about what you hate about me. We both made promises that we didn't keep. If you don't want to talk to me, there's nothing I can do. She said, did you get the phone? Yes. I said, you knew I would finish strong. Pep talks to me keep me performing. I know I was consenting. Like you said, you didn't know I didn't want it. This is my truth. I love you very much. I need to take a pause. All right. Why did you say, I know I was consenting? She said, I pick up the word from him. He said, if anyone saw those videos, they'd say you wanted it. Was that true, Jane? I'm still trying to figure that out. All right. So she can't even understand now today on the stand whether or not she consented or not. And in the text messages, she said she was consenting. So you know that the defense is going to pick apart the messages where she's saying that she consented for that. All right. She said, what did you see in the videos? I was high. I was just following a pattern, performing. And then she had to read something from her notes. She wrote, I'm having PTSD from these nights. Why in your notes app? Just to get the feelings out. Did you see Sean that day? Yes, at his home. I was comforted by him. I was able to talk about the pain I was feeling. He was hugging me. Then they showed her photos and they said, photos, I told us in his master bedroom. I felt she took these in his master bedroom. I felt he understood me in this moment. He had a Halloween video shoot. That was nice, but his birthday was approaching and I felt nervous. He'd want to party hard. But he spent his birthday with his family. I got him a mobile television. We had these things called movie nights and we'd watch our videos. She said, I felt this TV could substitute for the entertainer. Then Cassie's lawsuit came out. It was everywhere on social media. I think I fainted. Sure. She said, listen, I'm over here getting nervous because his birthday about to come out. I'm thinking, dang, he gonna want to freak me out. But instead, he spent it with his family, so I gave him a mobile TV where he can watch our rendezvous. And then, boom, Cassie lawsuit drops. So then they're like, why did you faint when you saw Cassie's lawsuit? And then she starts crying. There were 3 pages that were harrowing what I was experiencing. Did you screenshot those pages? Yes. Do you recognize this? It's Cassie's lawsuit filed November 16th, 2023. Had you met Cassie? In 2015, a fashion show and celebration for Sean. That's the only time I met Cassie. I was reading these pages and it felt like a nightmare. I had a lot of sympathy for this because... Objection. Ask a new question. How did you react? Like, I can't believe I'm reading my own story. Read your messages the day after the Cassie lawsuit. 4 in one night, and now I'm going to the doctor. Child, can you imagine? Can you imagine? She got a shaboing 4 dudes. Now, she done shaboinged 4 dudes raw, and then now she got to go to the doctor? And Cassie's lawsuit done just dropped. Child. She said, She said, where was I at? Child. She said she can't believe she was reading her own story. She said, 4 in one night, and now I'm going to the doctor. Then 3 days later after Cassie's lawsuit, I wrote, I feel like I'm reading my own trauma. God finally woke me up about this cycle. You gaslit me. We're going to play some audio with your true name redacted. Show the full transcript to the jury. Sean sends her audio saying, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stop all this madness. Did you know you were being recorded? No. Did you know you were being listened in on? No. All right. So now she's being recorded. Like what she he's calling her in the midst of Cassie's lawsuit. And now he's doing damage control and recording her conversation and her response. He said, I'm trying to stop all this madness. I love you. They like, did you know you were being recorded? No. Did you know you were being listened in on? No. More audio. Jane saying, who's there when I close my eyes and I have these effing things in my head? So then they played audio. It says, I'm trying to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? And then Jane says, I'm just effed up right now. Sean Combs asks, are you recording me? Jane, were you recording him? I mean, the prosecution says, were you recording him? She says, absolutely not. So then more audio. It says, what you did is not right. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk on this phone. I don't know what the F is going on. I need you to support. You got me that video thing. And then the prosecution said, what did that mean? The mobile TV I got him. And then they say, Your Honor, this might be a good place to break. And the jurors left out for a break. So let's refresh and get back to where we are at. Oop. She was getting $9,000 in child support. I knew the amount of child support was coming up, but hold on. Let's get back to where we were. Okay. So they said, Your Honor, this might be a good place to break. She's getting $9,000 in child support. But anyway, she says, I was commenting about the girlfriend of another rapper. I said, she's so beautiful. Was this rapper an old friend of yours? She said, yes. I was flown to Las Vegas. There was a birthday party and we went to a strip club. I recognized Anton. Other than the time you had you ever seen Anton other than on hotel nights? She says, no. This friend, was it platonic? Yes. In the hotel room, Anton was having hanky-panky shaboinging with a woman. The rapper and his girlfriend were there. There was flirting. Who they talking about? What they talking about? How were your finances in January 2024? She said, better. I decided to do an OnlyFans. What kind of content did you create? Lingerie, swimwear, implied nudity? What's that? Your hands cover your body. I wanted to stand on my 2 feet. I was also getting child support and some money from Bear. I advertised his brand on my social media. He offered me money. Actually, he just sent it to me. How much? Oh, that was okay. Redaction. It wasn't $9,000 for child support. $9,000. He said, if you want to post for my brand, no big deal. Child, I done seen $9,000 in child support in the same sentence and thought that was how much she was getting paid for child support. Redaction. She wasn't getting it. They haven't revealed how much child support yet. I thought the $9,000 just skimming over it was for the child support. She got $9,000 for doing the brand deal. So, child, I done read child support and then seen $9,000 and was like, oop, she done got paid, but I didn't read it fully. So redaction, we have yet to find out how much she's getting for child support. But it's going to come out. Sean messaged me. He'd had a dream about me. that I was on Concord. And it says, what did you answer to him? She said, I missed him dearly. He said, so what you want to do on your birthday? I said, I'm traumatized by my past birthdays and what they led to. What did Sean write? He said, if you change your mind, I miss you. Stay happy. Love. Child. He said, listen, we not even about to go into that. You don't want to do it? All right. Love you. Deuces. He said, bitch, you ain't about to set me up. Cassie done found this lawsuit. I done already paid her. I'm still trying to get some freaky time. And then you want to talk about you traumatized. Oh, you ain't about to set me up. All right, have a good day. Let me know if you change your mind. Stay happy. Love. She wrote, I'm just being mature. I don't think I'm ready to see you. Did you see him for your birthday, February 2024? She said yes. How was it in Miami? Sean had candles. My heart was beating super fast, and I think his was beating fast too. We were oddly in the same color. I thought that was nice. What happened at dinner? He had balloons. It was a 5-course dinner. We used X. Then Sean asks, do you want to see Don? He is a menace. He is a literal menace. She over here like, Sean, Cassie's lawsuit just came out. I'm traumatized. And he said, you want to see Don? That's not funny. But that makes me believe that his wanker does not work on a one-on-one session with a woman. Because why was it such an urge to have these men at every encounter with these women? You can't I don't think it worked. That's why he needed the Viagra. That's why he needed the pill bag. Because it don't work when he see Gucci. It didn't work. In order for him to really get his rocks, he needed to see that big ick. He needed to see that big King Kong, ang, a lang, jang, galang in the girl. It didn't work just looking at her. And he like, man, listen, I'm already off ecstasy. He probably didn't want to take Viagra with the ecstasy. So she said, you know, we already high. We done took our ecstasy. And then he want Don to come in. Why you think he wanted Don to come in? Because he probably didn't need the Viagra because he liked to see that ick. He needed to see that ick. But if he had to hunch on her, he probably wouldn't have took the ecstasy. He probably would have just took the Viagra because I don't think that wanker works for a woman without assistance. Okay. Child, she said, they wanted to know, okay, so when he asked you, did you want to see Don? Did you want to see Don? What was your reaction? You know? She said, I was high. I was okay. Me and Don, we did it in One Star. Then we rested a couple days. Then we flew to LA and we were back together. In 2024, where did you visit Sean? Miami in May, July, and August. and at my residence in LA a couple of times. Did you and Sean go out in Miami and LA in 2024? No. Things had really hit the fan. A lot was going on in his life. The press was after him about Cassie's lawsuit. Which entertainers to you, or did you have a shaboing session with in 2024? So this motherfucker, he's sued by Cassie. The block is hot. He paid her in 24 hours. He's still meeting with Jane. And he's still freaking off with these P-stars. And he's still having her get pounded in 2024. After Cassie's lawsuit. Like, nigga. That's how you know it was an addiction for him. It was more than a fetish. He was addicted to seeing these icks. He was addicted to it. There is no way that my business is all over social media that this girl was in these freak offs and the guy Jonathan Audie's coming out. Cassie got her lawsuit. Then there's lawsuits flying from everybody and their mama. Everything is hot. He over there moping around Miami with Stevie J like he is freaking sad and making sure he's being seen on paparazzi. Remember him and Stevie J would be walking the beaches around this time when everything hit the fan about the lawsuit. And then in between all that, he's going back. So I need to know, because around that time, is Stevie J name about to come up next? Because around that time, Stevie J was everywhere with Puff. And this is around the same time that she's saying that Anton, now mind you, I Googled Anton. Anton got the biggest wankadank from what I was able to Google. He got the big pecker wecker. So she still got to get pounded by Anton and Don and all these other guys in the midst of everything hitting the fan. Can you imagine? What? She said she said she had to have shaboing sessions with Anton, Don, Larry. Hold on, what's Stevie J real name? Is it Steven for real? Hold on, is his name Larry in real life? What's Stevie J? What is Stevie J real name? Oh, it's Steven. I'm about to say, who Larry? That's a new one. That's a new name we ain't heard. Okay, but his name is Steven. I'm trying to figure it out. All right. She said, we stayed in the residences. There was a lot of focus on Sean everywhere. I showed him how lucrative OnlyFans was. So she's making a killing in OnlyFans, but then she's choosing to still get shaboing by Anton and Don and Larry. So that is like, okay, you not in Cassie's situation. Cassie didn't have access to any money. She didn't have any type of, like, all she had was what he gave her. Like, he paid all her bills. He gave her all her income. He is the one who facilitated everything. Like, anything she did had to be approved by him. This girl is getting child support by her baby daddy. She's making a killing on OF, and all the while, Cassie's lawsuit dropped. That's your out. Girl, you literally have an out. This is your moment to take a out, and you don't take a out. There's no way, even if you feel like, okay, he's a dangerous person. I feel like he would do something to me if I don't do it. This was the time he literally, there was no way that he was, actually physically. Now, whether he called you a million times and harassed you via phone, that's one thing. Because you remember, he called Kalina 50 times in it was like he called her 50 times in one day or whatever. But this is a moment where this was her out. And she's still linking with him, doing OF, making money from OF, and showing him, in order to show him how lucrative OF was, that means that it had to be lucrative for her. So she's making a killing on OF, and you are still getting pounded by Anton, Don, and Larry. I don't really know about this one. Because, I don't know. Let's finish seeing what happened. She said, we stayed in the residence. There was a lot of focus on Sean elsewhere. I showed him how lucrative OF was. Sean was putting on music and he went to my phone. He asked me, who's Bear? Why are you texting like this with him? The money thing came up, that Bear had sent me money. He started getting dressed. I started crying. I felt misunderstood. What did Sean text you? He wrote, what's going to happen if I come over tonight? I said, do you want me to be alone? I can arrange that. I wrote back, he was supposed to see his mother, in air quotes. I meant another woman. He wanted a party. All right. Sure, let's refresh, see what's going on. See what's going on. Child, I know we didn't miss that much. Wait, where are we at? Hold on. Oh, here we go. I'm like, dang, where did we go? All right. So they said, okay, so she said he wanted a party. They said, what did Sean ask? He said he wanted me to sign something for him so he could have closure. I thought he meant so I wouldn't be a threat. Have you ever sent him a demand letter? No. Sean said, you're making your own money. What did you reply? I said, I'm working on paying off my debt after being on call unfocused. How did you go into debt when you were dating a millionaire who gave you thousands? Objection, sustained. What did you write? I said, I'm tired. You can't even make it to the 2 years without bringing it up to me. What did Sean say here? Bear, my colleague, I said, I hate living in fear. The roof over my head was just going to come off. I asked, did you tell Robin? That's his accountants to cut it off. He said, you make your own money. Did you continue to pay your rent? Yes, he kept paying. Did you learn his houses were searched? Yes. And HSI came to my house. Who hired you a lawyer? Sean. Is Sean still paying for your lawyer now? Yes. Did you talk to Sly after the 2024 searches? Yes. He called and said he had a tape and he intended to release it bit by bit on the dark web. Shout! What? Oh, child. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sly said, whoa, 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 shit hitting the fan. Y'all getting money. Lawsuits is being had, and I have my own tape I'm about to release. Child, you know when the government found out that Sly had a tape that he was going to release? Baby. You know they said, get your ass over here, Sly. Get your narrow ass over here. Ooh, child, I might have to make it to New York to see Sly testimony because you know that Sly is going to testify. There's no way that Sly is not going to testify. There is literally no way. He had a tape of Jane in a hotel night and he was going to release it to the dark web after he found out about the lawsuits. You think he not going to testify? Baby, I need front row seats. Child, I need to book my flight tomorrow. Today. But anyways, child, Sly. Somebody said, who's Sly? This is in turn to. Okay. For those of you guys who are late, Sly is a P star. All right? He is a corn star. Now, Sly is the person that they started off doing freak offs with. Okay? Where have y'all been? Y'all don't know who Sly is. Y'all late. Have y'all been watching Jane testimony? Child, where y'all been? Child, let me give y'all a quick recap. So, she starts dating him after he was dating a homegirl. Diddy gets her and woos her on a yacht. They have a rendezvous in the islands. They go to Turks and Caicos. They go to the Bahamas. And they are, he getting her locked in. She starts dating Diddy. Diddy introduces her to the freak-offs. Now, with her, they called them hotel nights. So she said that they were getting cozy and they were watching corn on the TV. And they both liked Sly. Or was it Paul? Anyway, I think it was Sly. But anyways, they were watching a film. I believe it's Sly. It's been Paul, Anton, and Sly. But I think the one that they started out with was Sly. But anyways, so they were watching the tape. And they like, ooh, Diddy like, you like that? You like that? She like, yeah, I like Sly. Diddy like, I like Sly too. So they get Sly to come into the mix. So Sly comes in and shaboinks her, and Sly is from Atlanta. So they would fly Sly in. She liked doing Sly. Okay? She liked doing Sly. So, and Sly was from Atlanta. So they would fly Sly in to New York. They would fly Sly into Miami. They would fly Sly into overseas when they went overseas. And whenever she wanted to make it up to him that, she didn't, because he, in the midst of her doing Sly, she would have to do all these other dudes. But whenever she would get upset, like, man, I don't want to mess with this stinky, sweaty guy. Like, I don't want to, like he done brung some guy straight off the streets that was sweating, stinking, had bad body odor. She like, I can't do him. They would call in Sly. So she liked Sly and Anton. Those was her favorites that she would do because, I don't know, she liked doing them. In the midst of her doing Sly and Anton, she would have to do other guys. But Sly has been the most frequent name that we keep seeing. So Sly said he got a tape. Okay? And he was going to release it to the web. So that's Sly. So that's Sly for those of y'all who don't know. But make sure y'all hit the like button if y'all have not already. Let me see if y'all hitting the like button. Because y'all be playing games. Okay? Y'all be playing. Let me look at what these likes is looking like, because I swear y'all playing. Yep. And just like I thought, playing games. Playing games with the like button, and I just don't even understand. Child, I got to whip out my other fan. That's why you can never trust these viewers. Child, you see this fan available on my website called Never Trust? You can't trust y'all. Y'all can't even hit the like button. Okay? But anyways, Sly said, I got a tape. I'm about to release the tape. All y'all cashing in on this. I'm finna cash in too. You said Paul is the most frequent name. I feel like Paul and Sly are neck and neck to me. Anyway, so she said, did you talk to Sly after the 2024 searches? She said yes. He called and said he had a tape and he intended to release it bit by bit on the dark web. I asked Sly how he got the videos. He said that Sean picked up his phone and recorded with it. I asked Sly/Cabral how much he wanted. He said 10,000. I told Sean Cabral just tried to extort me. Sean was crying. What did he say to get legal on it? Did you speak with Cabral? Yes, I told him this was extortion and I would not talk with him. Then a media company called me and said they brought the tape and did I have a comment? I fainted. We had to sobs. Oh, she said she fainted. We had to, and then she starts crying. She says, we had to control the situation. Did the media company ever publish the video? No. Do you know why? No. Then the hotel video of Sean and Cassie came out. I was with Sean in Miami. How did you first learn of that video? There was a knock at the door. Child. So he trying to keep her close, okay? So, and you better know that if the video never came out and they purchased the video, you better know that some money was exchanged or they possibly got scared that they would get a lawsuit. I don't know. But, child, you better know that they gonna testify for sure. She said there was a knock on the door. She was with Sean. He was called out. I went down and everyone was talking about it. It was a 2-star. I guess what they were at 2-star. I don't know what happened. Sean was huddled with his team and his family. I was just giving everyone space. Later, we had a huddle. His sons were involved. So she was a part of the damage control after Cassie. So you know, at this time, shortly after, child, let me not, because then I don't want to accidentally say Jane's name, but interesting, because at this time, there was allegations, and she was saying she's not a little blank worker. Child. All right. So she said, the family had a huddle and his sons were in the huddle. Huddle for what? To come up with an apology. He showed me a draft of what he would say on social media. Did you read it? He addressed Cassie by name in the draft I saw. I felt it was more heartfelt. I thought it was good enough. Did you talk later, one-on-one with Sean about the video? Yeah. He said that Cassie hit him too. Then I was told that KK was coming and I had to go in another room. I did, and I went back to LA. Do you recognize this? Child, they done show her the apology video. Hold on. Let's all watch the apology video together. They done show her his apology video. Hold on. Let's pull it up because the jury is watching the video. We got to watch it too. Hold on. Diddy apology video to Cassie. Look at the video. Look at the video. Hold on. We got to watch the video too. We got to be where they at.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you got to do that. I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom. But I made no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
This was after the huddle. She said, that video sounds good enough. She said, that's good enough. Good enough. Look. Like, none of this is funny, but it's just like, if you can't see that Diddy was a menace, I don't know what to tell you. Like, he was a legit menace. He was a menace.
I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
Now knowing that they had a little quick huddle, he probably ain't went to no therapy and ain't went to no damn rehab. We the public looking at it thinking like, okay, you know, this is full of ish, but I was thinking like, well, maybe he did go to therapy. Maybe he did go to rehab. I don't know. But now that I know how this whole video went down, I doubt he probably even went to therapy or any of it. Because when did he have time to go to therapy and rehab when she just was getting banged out right before this by Anton with the monster wanker, and she was still doing X with him? So not only was this video apology full of boo-boo, which we thought it was anyways, we thought like, boy, bye. But you're lying, like you're really lying too, like you're lying within it. Like we thought it was like, boy, whatever, you ain't sorry, you only sorry you got caught. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt about like, okay, well, maybe he did go to rehab or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But it's like, you're just lying about everything in here because you was just getting her smutted out and y'all was off X, and you've been doing it the whole time, having freak offs the whole time. That's why you can't believe these people when they be like, I was in therapy. How do we know? How do we know you really went to therapy? Now you got to question everybody who say they went to therapy, because did you really? Or did you just say the buzzword that make it seem like you took accountability? Are you just saying what people, oh, well, they took accountability, they went to therapy, because they know? How could you really know? You know?
I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Child.
It's so difficult to reflect.
So that's what they just showed the jury. All right. So after they played the video, they went on a sidebar. Okay, let's get back to where they are at. Child, somebody said, who is Jane Doe? Where have you been, twin? Where have you been? So, let's see. Oh, wait, let's find where we were. Okay, so it says, the video played to the jury, not on the public screen in the gallery. Sean, I have God, mercy, and grace. I'm truly sorry. How did you feel about it? I was disappointed. I felt there was no heart. Then Diddy's lawyer asked for a sidebar. They said jurors may take a break. Jurors leave. Miss Comey, can I get a proffer as to relevance? Comey, if you can't compare the drafts, I'll strike the last question about comparing the drafts. So basically, they wanted her to look at the draft that she read, that he drafted up, versus what he said in the video. I don't think that's really relevant, but that's what they're trying to figure out. Like, is it really relevant to have her comparing what he was supposed to say versus what he ended up saying in the video? Like, what's the relevance in that? And then Agnifilo said, we want all those questions stricken. So Agnifilo says, I advise not to name Cassie as she might be a grand jury witness, so privileged. Our next question are about Combs' assault on Jane and forcing her to have a shaboing session with an entertainer while still injury. It goes to the state of mind. All right. So now they about to say that he beat her too. So they said, did you later talk one-on-one with Sean about the video? She says, yes. He said Cassie hit him too. Then I was told KK was coming. I had to go to another room. They played the video. The jurors took a break. And they wanted a proffer. All right, so they're on break right now. They are on break right now. And I would, normally I would have y'all come up in the meantime, and y'all would come up and give me your thoughts, but I don't trust y'all to not say Jane's name and be on some oops, my bad. I don't got time for it. So when we go to another witness or something, I'll resume having people come up in between. But I feel like people will just come up and probably do some crap like that. But it is interesting to see how y'all feel, but I don't trust y'all. So we can't do that. So all we have to do is wait while they're on break. And y'all let me know what's a given. She was doing OF. She was getting child support. She was doing brand deals. She was still doing these hotel nights. And all the while she was saying that she didn't want to do it, but she was still doing it. And they're saying that he basically coerced her through fraud. So the charge that they're trying to prove with her is that she was tricked into these things, okay? She would tell him that she didn't want to get no triple decker special, but he would tell her, okay, well, you don't got to do a triple decker special. I'm just flying you out so that it could be me and you. And then once she get flown out, then Don would be in the other room. And then he would say, you ready for Don? And then she would just go with it because she wanted to make him happy. So they're basically trying to say she was tricked into these things. But it's like, I understand, I don't view everybody the same situation. A lot of people get mad at me about that because they think that every single woman who deals with a guy and something bad happens, you have to view it the same. I don't view every situation the same. So as soon as you start not viewing every situation the same, they're like, oh, you have picked me. No, I have a fucking brain and a rational thought process. And, it's like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Okay, cool. Fool me for 3 years. And I'm not a singer. I'm not a rapper. You can't, he can't blackball her OnlyFans. It's going to be a million horny dudes that want to see her body. Diddy can't block that. She doing OF. She doing brand deals. You know what I mean? It's not like, now with other people I understood, like Capricorn, she wanted to be in that field. He had the power to block her job. Cassie, he had the power to get other executives not to work for her in the field that she wanted. This Jane, not saying that he didn't go too far, because he went too far with everyone. He did too much with everyone. But you had child support, you had OF, you had brand deals. That 10,000 pad, and you there while he, you know what I mean? You had an out at the point of the lawsuit coming out. There was different times where it's like, okay, fool me once, but that's what they're trying to prove, that it was fraud. She was frauded into doing these things. He was deceiving her and making her think that they were having one-on-one time, and then he would say, surprise, a big thing is coming, but it's 3 years of a surprise, fool me once, type of thing. Somebody in the comments said, who are we to judge? She was tricked, but after a while, she should have wised up if she didn't like it, but stop being so nasty towards these females. Who you talking to? Who you talking to? Who you talking to? Who you talking to? Anyway, somebody said I go because of the record deal. He tricked her when she was 19. I'm trying. No, whoever, I don't even see somebody saying free Diddy, but if somebody say free Diddy and they're not spamming the chat, then they're fine. They're fine. Only time that I block people is if they're disrespectful and if they're like spamming the chat. Now, if he's spamming the chat and he's like posting it back to back to back to back. Oh, she said the chat, LOL. My bad. But yeah, so you know, we don't want to just block people because they like Diddy or say that. But if they're spamming it back to back to back, then yeah, I'm gonna block your ass because now you're being a nuisance. But if they're just having a disagreements or a different opinion, or they feel like, you know, he deserved to be free or whatever the case, that's fine. Just when they get disrespectful, yeah, no. All right, so they're still on break right now. I wish I could call y'all up, but I'm so afraid. Make sure y'all hit the like button and make sure, you know, y'all are hitting the website. And, oh, on my website, if you spend $60 on my website and you type in the code no Diddy, you will get a surprise discount on the items outside of the fans. All right. Now, the fans on my website, they already are at a discount. So we already done gave y'all a special deal on these. But there are other items on my website like adult dice, adult goodies, adult, you know, different PJs, pajamas, bonnets, all kind of other items. So $60 and put in the coupon code no Diddy and you will get a discount at checkout. And shout out to everybody who has been buying these fans. Child, we are almost sold out. I had got a good amount of these fans and I just walked out on faith. I said, you know what? These fans are popular. And we got to add, you know what I mean? We go where the money reside, period. Okay, if y'all didn't know, y'all know now. We go where the money resides. Somebody say, now you want to sell the fans? I sure do. Hey, we going where the money reside. So I want to thank all of y'all who have helped buy me out of these fans. I did a test run to see, and I got me a lot of them. And I said, you know what? Let me just see. And I appreciate all of you guys because some of you guys have bought 2, 3, 4 fans. People have been buying like each design, or people have been buying like multiple of the same design. And I appreciate y'all so much. So, you know, your girl is appreciative because, you know, we go where the money resides, child. We go where the money resides. I'm like, if y'all buy enough of these fans, now I might go back to New York and give y'all in-person account of what's going on, okay? I might. Y'all buy some more of these fans or y'all buy some of them dice on the website. I might go back. I don't know. I don't know. Robin, you want to speak? Where them fans at? I don't know. I might have like a select few people like to where it's like, okay, I trust that you will follow the rules. I don't know. I'll see. Robin, did you want to speak? You know to follow the rules. What's the given? Also, too, if you got one of my fans, if you have one of my fans, send me a picture. Send me a picture to my DM or to my email. They're still on break, so we're waiting for them to come back. You said Neek knows that she like triple deckers. Child, why you in my business? Why you in my business trying to figure out what my thing looking like? But now, actually, I like not those. No. I don't like small. I don't like skinny. I don't like short. It gotta be, it gotta be just right. It can't. I don't like no little skinny short tort. Don't want. But I don't want no triple decker either. I like the fact that there's walls there. I like having walls there. Okay. I like to be able to grip. I like to be, you know what I mean? I feel like if you start taking triple decker specials, I don't think you're going to be able to grip on like you need to grip on when you do it. You know what I mean? I like, I don't want to do a small wanker, but I like the fact that if I feel like being nice and giving some Gouda cat away to somebody that's small, I still want to be able to grip it how it need to be gripped. And you can't do that with a triple decker special. I don't think. Okay? So, even though I don't like no small wankies, I still want to be able I still want to be able to grip down how you need to grip down. Okay? No. Cause I might, cause what if I take, what if it's like, okay, and guess who be the main ones with the triple decker specials? It be the broke party promoters, the broke N-words. It be the ones that ain't got no job. So imagine you getting scratched out by the triple decker special by somebody that ain't got no job. Okay? And then here come your knight in shining armor. And he got a Tootsie Roll. And because you done let the bum stretch out, then you can't, you know what I mean? So I like to kind of be where it's like, I might not be all the way satisfied with a little wanky, but, we can get it together and we can, still get. Oh, let me stop. You said, wait, so what I got 22 years of my job? What? Child. And don't let it have a curve. Oh, my Lord. Don't let it have no curve to it neither. Child. You're going to get with the curve and you're going to be like, child. You're going to be playing mama to a damn grown man. What bill you need? No, shit. We ain't going that far. Now, I was about to take it too far. We're not going that far. Ooh, child. You said uncircumcised is your issue? I really don't, I had uncircumcised and it really wasn't a problem for me, to be honest. Because he was curved, he was nice size, and and when he was on full, meaning that when he was, extended, you really only really notice if they're not extended, But I dealt with a curved. And I thought, the first time, child, let me not. Because The first time we got together. Whoo, child. Now, I remember the first time, because, you got to work your way up to it. It's different. It's definitely different, okay? It's not the same. It's different. And so, the first time, when you see it not fully where it's supposed to go, you get a little nervous, okay? You touch it, and then you feel, as you going back, it's coming back with you. I don't want to get too graphic. But when it's not fully extended, you get a little nervous, okay? You get a little nervous because you touch it, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm used to my hand go back, and that's the only thing going back, okay? Your hand go back, and it's coming with you, and it's going back with you. But then as you going, it's going, after it get where it need to go, then you fine. Okay? After it gets where it needs to go, it's fine. But that first initial, before it's where it's supposed to be, you get a little nervous because, it's like you touching a slinky. Now, you remember them slinkies that y'all used to play with when you was a kid. The slinky would go and go and go, you know what I mean? So it's like a slinky, until it go where it's supposed to go. But, hey, once it went where it was supposed to go, that was some of the best times of my life, okay? We had a time. Oh, yeah, we did. That was, not you talking about me talking about a private freak off. No, I ain't never did no freak off, child. It was just me and him. Okay. It was just me and him. It was just me and him. That was it. It was just us two. But nah, that was like I want to say like the best situation that I ever had. He was up there. Okay? He was up there. He wasn't circumcised, child. He was from the islands. Okay? And I guess over there in the islands, they don't believe in that type of thing, He was from the islands. And yeah. Child. He would be in these nice fancy hotels, and he was rich, and he had a lot of money, and we would have a good time. And it wasn't about his money, but that made it more exciting. But anyways, me and him dealt with each other for like a very long time. Not you did take a trip a while ago, child. He ain't from Jamaica. He from the islands, but he ain't from Jamaica. But anyways, let me see if child, I got to edit this part out. Okay, they came back, child, good, because these people got me over here talking about uncircumcised wank. All right. Child. But it's, it's magic in that curve, okay? It's magic in the curve. Okay, it is. You said stay away from Jamaican men. They are users. Child, Jamaican men try to act like. Anyways, they back. Let's read some more. Anyways, so what happened? All right, so they said the media company didn't publish the videos. Okay, wait. Where we at? Da-da-da. Okay, he said Cassie hit him too. All right, so they showed the video to the apology. All right, so they came back. Oh, wait, they took a break. All right, they came back. Wait, where we at? The fuck? Okay, so they said, I can play the video again and avoid any privilege issues. And then they said, okay, bring the jury back in. All right, so then they played the video again where he says, I was effed up, I hit rock bottom, I sought out professional help, and he was going to therapy and rehab. Let me pull it back up on the screen. All right. So all right, so then it says, what did you understand he was referring to? She said the hotel elevator lobby video. The next time you saw him was June 18th, 2024. Where did you see him? She said home in LA. Date night in the house. Jonathan came to help set up. What did Jonathan do? Put some candles around the home, decorate with red lights, make the environment cozy. What the plan to have was the plan to have an entertainer? She says, no. I wore a long brown dress. I opened our patio, which has a really nice view. All right. All right, he's waiting to type up some stuff. Ooh, not Kiana's throwing shade, talking about only hoes within walls want a curve. Child, I don't know what you talking about there, girl. I don't know what you're talking about. Because the curve gonna do what it need to do. So let's see. Let's refresh. See, this is why I like to wait to go live, because I don't be liking to wait for it to come up. I thought we done caught up with the dang real time. Now we gotta wait in between. I'm sure we waiting. We waiting for them to what is y'all talking about in the chat? Somebody said that was a hell of a long commercial break. We had a hell of a long commercial break, and guess what? We still gotta wait. I thought by the time we was done with that commercial break, we was gonna have some. Let me see. I think people be going to other networks to get it at the same time too. Let's see. In the meantime, in between time.
Time I seen Drea when we was talking about that shit, she was with Puff. And
Puff fucked her?
I feel like she was giving a nigga a hand. This nigga Puff was trying to have a meeting with me or whatever, and like fucking we there, and like Cassie's in the house or whatever, and like Drea's there or whatever, and like Drea's sitting next to him.
Yeah, the threesome.
And the nigga's trying to have a meeting with me, and like I think that like Drea like giving him a hand job or something under the blanket.
Word?
I'm like, bro, I don't want to talk too much. I went back downstairs with Travis Scott.
Wait, Drea freaky like that?
I don't know.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. This is some wild. She said my wholeness.
That's Young Berg talking to academics about Diddy. What else is going on? Let's see. All right, so it says, did you two get into an argument? She said, yes, we had champagne and some tequila. I started confronting him about who he was with on his family trip to Utah. What did you say? I said, he was 25 years older. She said she started confronting him about a family trip that he went on in Utah. Hold on, let's Google Diddy family trip in Utah. She said that she called him a pet because he was 25 years older than the girl. Baby daughter. Oh, is this the baby mama? Oh, this must be about the latest baby mama. Okay, Diddy shares glimpse of baby love on family yacht getaway. Good morning from Baby Love. Is this what they talking about? And no, this is not Jane. This is a picture of the baby mama. Let's see what they're talking about. It says, she called him a ped because he was 25 or more years older. I said, if a girl can't buy her own drinks, what makes you interested in her? I believe she was under 21, but older than 18. Yes, I pushed his head into the marble. Then what? I started throwing candles in glass. I was angry. So, hold on. They got that P word up there. Let's go back. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out who was Diddy on a family trip? How old is Diddy's youngest baby mama? How old is Diddy youngest child mother? Hold on, we trying to see how. Dana Tran. Okay, so it can't be her because she's 29. So who was it? We don't know. Dana Tran. Oh. So now Dana Tran is 32. So it ain't her. It was somebody else. It was somebody else that he took that was a youngin'. Child. So she confronts him about finding out about him being with this young girl on the family trip. All right. So she finds out they having a night together. They having this date night. It's June 18th, 2024. They said, where did you see him? His home in LA. They had date night in the house. Jonathan came to set it up. He put candles around the home. He decorated the house with red lights. He made the environment cozy. And they said, what did you plan to have, an entertainer? She said, no, I wore a brown dress. I opened our patio, which has a really nice view. And they ended up getting into an argument. She says, we had champagne and some tequila. And I started confronting him about who he was with on his family trip to Utah. She saw that he was with a girl that he was 25 years older than. And she said, if a girl can't buy her own drinks, what makes you interested in her? I believe she was under 21. And she said that she pushed him in the head. She pushed his head into the marble. And then she started throwing candles in a glass. All right. So she says, listen, I was mad. I pushed his head into the marble. I started throwing candles. I started throwing glass. I was angry. She said he was probably cursing and calling me crazy. I wanted to lock myself in the master bedroom. They said, did Sean touch you? Not yet. I locked the bathroom door, but he kicked it down. Then he kicked down the bathroom door off the hinges. So she said that she done pushed his head into the marble. She done threw the candles at him. And then she took a run for it. And then as she takes a run for it, she locks herself in the bathroom. And then he kicks the door off the hinges. Boom. Kicks the door off the... Ooh, was it Lori? How old is Lori Harvey? How old is Lori Harvey? No, Lori Harvey's 28. Maybe she could have assumed she was young. Lori Harvey and Diddy in Utah. Let's see. Where was this at? Oh, this was 2029. This was it. They went on a trip to Italy. This was them in Italy. So it can't be Lori Harvey because Lori Harvey is too old. And this was them in Italy. We'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. We'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Ay. Hey. Who was Diddy with in Utah? I don't know. But we have to wait until they type something else. Come on now. What's going on in the city press? What's happening? What's happening? You playing games? Let us know what's happening. Let us know what's happening. Y'all playing games. All right, we waiting for him to post what's next. So she said, after he kicked the door off the hinges. Oh, let me close this poll, by the way. All right, so in the poll, I said, do you think Jane is a victim? 41% of you guys said no. 34% of you guys said yes. 24% said you are conflicted. And that was from 1.3 thousand views. So this is the end of that poll. All right. I wanted to know if y'all felt like she was a victim or not. And it seems like y'all are kind of teeter-tottering. All right. So all right. So she said he kicked his way into my closet. I tried to run, but he kicked me and put me in a chokehold, and I couldn't breathe. I went to the front door and to a wall 6 blocks away. How long did you hide there? For 2 hours. Then I went back. I saw Sean. So she said he done put her in a chokehold. All right. So she done confronted him. She done called him a ped. And then after she done said that, she threw candles at him, pushed his head into the marble. She done ran and hid in the bathroom and locked herself in the bathroom. He kicked the door down, went and grabbed her up and choked her out and put her in a chokehold. And she ran and hid for 2 hours down the block. Then she went back and she saw him. All right. So we gotta wait till they say more. I don't know what his thing is with kicking, because he sure do like to kick them. He definitely like to kick them. It's crazy. Now, in other news, did y'all see that Jim Jones said that, or agreed with Sierra that he should now marry Chrissy? Now, they've been together for a bajillion years. And she proposed to him on Love and Hip Hop. But now Sierra was telling him it's time that he marries Chrissy. And he basically said, I'll think about it. He'll think about it. Not you just looked at my Instagram. Okay. You crazy or whatever. See, I don't like being right current with it, because Maybe okay, so today I went live. It was almost like 10. So maybe when I go live, I probably got to wait till like 11. And then that way we won't be so neck and neck waiting on. You said, why would she marry that grown YN? Exactly. You said they're roommates at this point. Right. Exactly. It's like, child, if y'all ain't got married by now, what's it giving at this point? Waiting 5 minutes for these tweets to come in is driving me crazy. Oh, man. Yeah. You said, is she serious? It was Sierra that was encouraging it, though. But y'all got to realize, too, that Love and Hip Hop is a scripted reality show. Like, you know, in real life, outside of it being a show, would she propose to him? Probably not. But because it's a show and it's a reality show and it's like, you know what? He's not going to propose to you, so let's get it on camera. You proposing to him. You know, we got to have that caveat in there as well because, you know, it was a reality show and they do have to add the drama in there and stuff. What y'all think about all of the ICE raids and all of that? What do y'all think about Saucy Santana's new look? That lace is melted, y'all. Oh, he's singing a song. Child. They say Emily B and Country Wayne is a thing. So she done went from Fabulous to Country Wayne. And to have all these kids and still be bagging them, that let me know that, you know, he doing what need to be done in the bedroom because he got 1 million kids and he's still bagging chicks. You feel me? This Kurt Franklin. Okay. It looked like he done photoshopped his face. It's a lot going on. Lot going on. Whole lot. Child, all that time looking at the blogs for it to only be one new tweet. Not y'all said she got mad kids too. She don't got as many kids as him. He got 1 million kids. He got 1 million kids. You said, how did they even make it to the bedroom to find out? It would be an automatic no off the bat. I think personality also plays a factor too. Like, if you could make a woman laugh and you got charisma, then, you know, that's already half the battle right there. You know he funny. You know he gonna make you laugh. And he might, you know. So it's all about swag too. A lot of these dudes have zero fucking swag. Okay. And the kids nowadays, they call it Riz. A lot of these guys, they'll be alright to look at, but they have zero personality. You could tell Country Wayne has a lot of personality. You could tell he probably is, you know, fun to be around. And so that's like half the battle right there. A personality which you don't find often. He got money, even though he got a bunch of kids. So there's that right there. So, all right. So she says that she hid at the wherever she went for 2 hours. So she ran 6 blocks away and she hid wherever she was. And then she went back home, I guess, and she saw Sean. She said, Sean kicked in the guest bedroom door. I was throwing glasses and candles at Sean. I shouted that I hated him. He started punching my head and saying all kind of things. Saying what? That I was trying to keep him away from his kids. All right. She said, I said no, but he kicked me on the ground. I was balled up. Then he grabbed me by my hair and arms and dragged me back to the house. What was he saying? That I was effing crazy. I kept saying, just leave me the F alone. All right? So she balled up in a ball and he just kicking her and beating her because she done called him the P word and done hit his head into the marble and threw some candles at him or whatever. So now she got to pay. All right? Well, you know, because he probably thinking, what's this allegation lead to? You calling me a P word? You trying to keep me away from my kids? You trying to keep me away from my kids? She said, I called the girl I thought Sean was with and asked if she was on the trip with Sean. She said very insulting things. Then Sean held me down, so I had to listen. What did you do? I told her to shut up and that he was beating my A. Okay, what did she have to listen to? Child, not she done called the girl to confront her and Diddy held her down so the girl could cuss her out. What? She said she called the girl that she thought he was with to confront her, and instead she got cursed out and he held her down so that she can listen to every word that the girl was saying. And she replied, shut up, he's beating my... Child. Can you imagine? I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. Child, what? She said, I told her to shut up. He was beating my... Child, that's crazy. That is crazy. You said, was it Carisha? I don't know. She thought the girl that he was with was young and not 21. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was Carisha. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? She said, Sean hung up. Then he told Jonathan to tell me he wasn't with no girl on his family trip. After the FaceTime, then what happened? I went into the shower to cool off. Who was with you? Sean. I saw a black eye forming and welts. Okay. So she said after they done got off the phone, she went to go in the shower so that they could cool off, or she could cool off, and she saw her eye was getting black. Okay, she was forming a black eye. And she had welts all on her body from this ordeal. Child. A mess. A mess, a mess, a mess, a mess, a mess. A mess. We got the weight. We got the weight. So she put hands on him first. Folks finna run with that. Yeah, definitely. Definitely the fact that, and it sounds like this is the first time. This happened in June of 2024. So this was last year. And it sounds like, from the way that the prosecution is building it up, that this is the first time that hands got laid after she laid them on him. I don't know. Maybe his defense will say, well, you triggered him to beat on you. I don't know. So they said, how were you in the shower? She said, naked. Sean was in his pants and he slapped me. I fell to the ground of the shower. Child. Not they done got in the shower and then he done slapped her. She say, I went into the shower to cool off. I got a black eye coming. He getting, I'm naked. I take off my clothes. I'm in the shower. It's like, whoo, this is a lot going on. He get in the shower with his pants on and slap me to the ground or the floor. She said he slapped her down to the ground. She said, after that, she said, I was exhausted. I just sat there. Sean said, just put some ice on it and put an outfit on. And you know when you wet and something hit you or smack you, you know it really sting. So not only did he beat her out the shower, but now she done put water to her body. And she wet. And so, you know, any type of hit when you wet really, really sting. So he done smacked her down to the ground, child, wet and all, and said, put some ice on it and put a outfit on. The prosecutor said, outfit? What you mean by outfit? What kind of outfit? She said, lingerie and heels. Sean was using my phone to play videos. He texted Anton on my phone. My phone was screen mirrored to the TV. Sean texted, hey, what are you doing? Sean scrolled up and saw Anton's messages about our mutual friends. So he was playing some you know, adult type of film, and he like, girl, let's see what Anton about. Nobody got time to be you, girl. Call up we gonna call up Anton. Now, mind you. I told y'all I googled Anton. Now, Anton is the one where she was like, oh, I had to do Anton, then I threw up, and then, you know, Anton got a big. So after she said she got a black eye for him and he done smacked her down to the ground, she got welts all over her body. And then she done casted her phone to the TV and he watching videos. Trying to figure out what Anton up to. Calling Anton. She had to get ready for a freak off. So then he looking through her messages like, what you and Anton talking about? It's a whole lot of going on, okay? It's a whole lot going on. She had to get the fucking outfit on, girl. Get ready. Put that outfit on. Put them heels on. Anton. We got to get Anton over here. Child. A mess, a mess, a mess. What y'all thinking so far? What's it giving so far? And the audio that they played in court, was that? It didn't say whether that was a wiretap or whether that was Sean recording. Child, y'all saying that what? So how do you feel like her, because even if y'all don't think that she was a victim, you said what Anton looked like? Let me see. Child, let's see if we could pull up Anton. Let's see. I don't know. Anton, you gotta look him up, child. You gotta look him up, child. But what I was saying was, even if, okay, let's say that after all of the years, he finally found somebody who was with it to a degree. Does that discount Cassie? Does that discount Capricorn? Does that discount all of the other people who he had them under a different type of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What Sly look like? Child, look him up. Sly Diggler, or however you say. So boom, they said, Sean asked me how the mutual friends were. I said, I didn't know. They said, why did you lie? She said, we were on a break. I didn't think I needed to say it. Anton showed up. I moved my hair so that my injuries couldn't be seen and used makeup like Sean said. All right. Somebody in the comments says, if she does another FO with him after this, I'm done. Child, what you is waiting? You done after what? You done with her or what? What's you done with? It sound like she finna do another freak off. What you mean after this you done? Child. I don't think it's nobody from YouTube. It's somebody from, that world. That world. She says, I greeted Anton and tried to be polite. Asked him how his day was. Sean was giving me his evil stare. Sean said, I need to talk to you. We went into the guest bedroom. What happened there? He said he wanted to know about the mutual friend. Child. He want to know, who else is you talking to? Who else is you giving that poo-tang to without me being able to see you give that poo-tang up? All right. Yeah, she was still doing it up until she was still involved with him up until he got arrested. So, Sean trying to figure out who the mutual friend. All right, so he trying to know about the mutual friend. He trying to know about the mutual friend. Yeah, he's still taking care of her. He's still taking care of her to this day. Wow, because they done made a love contract. They done made some type of love contract that keeps them, in love for 2 years. And I think this is still under the period of their love contract. Now, I don't know if her basically testifying voids any part of the love contract, but they're under a love contract where he still pays her bills. For sure. So, she said, I told him I went to Vegas with this rapper and his girlfriend. I saw Anton having shaboing session with another woman. What did Sean say? He said, do you have this P-star having something over me? What rapper and their girlfriend was Anton shabanging? So now he wondering, Anton was banging another rapper and his girlfriend, and now he here, and you got conversations with him about a mutual friend. You got this having something over me? I hope he don't beat her again. Don't beat her, Diddy. Do not beat her again. She already got a black eye and welts all over her body. Don't beat her again. Nah. Child. And who is the rapper? You said, I'm still confused as to why this lady didn't just choose OnlyFans. She did have OF. That was the year prior. She said that she was showing him how lucrative it was. She started to do OF. She was on OF. That was what I was saying. Child, not y'all. Oh, dang. Let me try to Google something. Hold on. Who? In Vegas with rapper. Aw. In Vegas with was it a female rapper? Oh, they just said rapper and his girlfriend. Who this? Who's she with in Vegas? Oh, damn. Why did it say forbidden? Who this is? Who this girl? Blank in Vegas with friends. I'm sure this ain't the only time she's been to Vegas. Who's she with? Let me see. She dated Jason Derulo? Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to see who different times she was in Vegas. Interesting. Anyway, all right. Let's get back to it. She said, did you take drugs? She said, yes, right around this time, Sean told me to take this effing pill. You're not going to ruin my effing night. Go out there and S his D. Child. So they didn't call Anton over there, and and he done told her, girl, do this dude got something over me? Do he got something over me? So they have their little conversation and whatever, however they come to. And then he told her, take this pill and go suck his D. She said he told her, you ain't about to ruin my night. You better go suck his D. And then they said, what did he say? She said that Diddy said, is this coercion? Huh? Is this coercion? What? Then they said, what happened to the pill? She said, I consumed it. And then I went and sucked Anton's D. She said, I felt sick. I was like, even in my own body, I felt disgusted. I felt terrible. So she felt like she wasn't even in her own body, okay? She took the pill, and then she went to go do what Diddy said and went to go S his D. All right? They said, how did it end? She said, when Anton finished, I excused him, and I tried to put a good face on. All right? So she had to get him to completion. And then once he was to completion, she said, you're excused. All right? I did my job. You're excused. You know, he wanted me to suck your D. I did. Goodbye. All right? So, child, if you don't know who Anton is, just, you know, you got to rewind the video. So then she said she had to put on a good face. All right. She had to act as though she was enjoying it. And mind you, this is her with a black eye forming, welts all over her body, and just getting the beats put on her by Diddy after Cassie's lawsuit, after things was already hot, after he already paid out all this money, and he's still facilitating men to pound her. And that was something that went on up until the day that he got arrested. So remember, if you guys remember, his I don't know what Anton's IG is, but if you want to know what Sly's Instagram is, Sly's Instagram is 220Sly. And I found it interesting that somebody famous that I follow follows him. I like her though, so I ain't gonna say who. But I got a mutual, somebody that I know follow him that, famous woman that I follow. But anyways, 220Sly is Sly's Instagram. I don't know what Anton's is. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know what Anton's is. Let me see. I think he got fake pages. But he's not cute. Let's see. Now he done. Child found it. But anyways. He's not attractive to me at all. But anyways, it wasn't about attraction. It was about that big black. Inner City Press, like, come on. You're leaving us on cliffhangers back to back. Anyways, you said you should have known they wasn't cute. I mean, he's not attractive to me. He wasn't attractive to me, but that doesn't mean that somebody, he kind of looked like Dave Chappelle to me a little bit. And Dave Chappelle is not attractive to me, but there are people who feel like he's handsome. But that's kind of what the Anton guy looks like to me. But anyways, where we at? All right, so she said that after that, not y'all said Sly looked like Coolio. Y'all is funny. Y'all is funny. But anyways, all right, so not y'all going to look. But anyways, y'all didn't hear that from me. Now, She said, okay, so they said, what happened to the pill? She said she consumed it and then she went to go his, okay. And then when she finished, Anton was excused. And she said afterwards, Sean called her a whore. And after he left, he sent his security with money for her and Anton. It was $10,000 or $12,000 in cash for Anton, I guess for Anton and her, and for the 4 damaged doors that he did on her property. So he said, listen, here go $12,000. This for you, Anton, and the doors that I broke in your house. All right. And so she said, what happened after that? Like, what did you do with the part of the money that was for Anton? She said, I Ubered $3,000 or $4,000 to Anton. Now, you know if it was 3 or if it was 4, girl. This happened last year. This just happened last year. Nah, you know if you Google 3 or 4. All right. Child, she said she Ubered 3 or 4 to Anton and she kept the rest for herself. Okay, period, poo. She said, listen, I'm going to pocket this rest now. Give me the lump. Because she got doors and to fix. Okay, period. So, we got to wait till the next update. I don't think that Uber delivers money. I think she probably went, like, because inner city press is not jotting down every single word for word. So what she probably said was she Ubered 3,000 to 4,000. So I'm gonna assume that means that she was in the Uber going for the, to give it to him. I'm gonna assume that. She paid him to yuck his yak. She paid him to get the scene. Child, not y'all saying she probably ain't pay him. She said she paid him 3 to 4. She said. Y'all say y'all be getting packages from Uber. Y'all fancy. I didn't know that. But they did change from just like people pack. Yeah, they do packages too, I think. But I'm gonna still guess. I don't think she just giving 4,000 to a random on an Uber. Now, although they might Uber stuff, I don't think that she gonna just send 4,000 in an Uber on this merry way. I'm gonna assume that she was Ubered with it. Okay. I'm going to assume that she was Ubered with it. Ice Princess says, Lord, I just Googled Sly, girl. We Googled him last week, honey. And I was like, girl, you was taking Sly and Anton and whoever else, girl. That she ain't had no walls at all. At all, honey. At all. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Thank you so much for the Cash App, Tamara. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, boo. You said, Neek, will you be on the next group of Streamer University? I'm not that type of streamer, and I'm too old for that, I believe. I'm out of the age group. I am an old woman. Okay, them is kids that's old enough to be my kids in Streamer University. Okay. I mean, Streamer University looks fun, but no. I'm not in the age group. Like, I literally am old enough to be the people in Streamers University's mama, except for Duke. Duke, I think he my age, but everybody else, I'm old enough to be their mama. And I'm not that type of streamer. The Streamer University is for like people who like stream on Twitch, and they like streaming all day. I don't got time to be streaming all day. I don't have the energy for that. I don't have the energy for that. So, no, to answer your question, no. Come on, Inner City Press. What is going on? Goodness. Yeah, and Duke got all this baby mama drama. Like, do he really got 6 baby mamas? That's crazy. Like, it was like 6, 7, 8 baby mamas that done popped up. I'm like, damn, Duke, that is crazy. Like, y'all that allergic to rubbers? Y'all really ain't got that much D-control that you didn't have one baby and be like, okay, you know, I don't want to be with her. I got the baby. You got all these different baby mamas. I would think it was like 6, 7, 8 of them. Like, come on now. When it comes to that much, like, you ain't having no type of hanky-panky with no rubber at all. Like, you allergic to rubbers. And when I see that guys are allergic to rubbers, number 1, they don't have D control. Number 2, they don't have D discipline. Number 3, if you are having all of these babies, some of these interactions don't end in a baby, if you catch my drift. Some of these interactions, she might not get pregnant, but what's being swapped? Okay, because some of these is you swapping babies, but some of these other stuff, it ain't just babies that swapped, you know? So when I be seeing people have all of these different baby mamas with all it like 6, 7, 8 people, other stuff is being transferred up and through them fluids other than babies now. So, one thing about it, I don't like no dirty D N-word. You a dirty D N-word? I don't like it. All right, so they said, have you ever fixed your doors? She said, no, there were other bills. So then they showed the broken doors to the jury, but the public could not see. When did you next see Sean? A few days later. Why? I missed him. Child. Okay. She said she missed him. Okay. So he done broke down her doors, beat her down, blacked her eye, or she said a black eye was forming. And then after that, she said that she had to pipe down Anton. And then, you know, he gave her $12,000, gave $4,000, $3,000 to Anton. She pocketed the rest. She didn't use it on getting the door fixed. She said, to hell with them doors. I got other bills. But then it's like, girl, why is you got all of these bills that's going on? I tell you, people be living above their means because, number 1, you get child support. You getting brand deals. You on OnlyFans. Like, what bills? What's going, like, what bills? Like, what are you buying, ma'am? It was other things, other bills. You couldn't get your door fixed. You know how much a door costs at Home Depot? And you could have, before this was before the ICE raids was going on. A door is like $100 at Home Depot. Then they might, if he kicked the door down, they might have to replace the frame of the door if he kicked it off the hinges. So they might just have to put like a new frame on the door. Like, that was like $500, not even $500 to fix the doors. You didn't fix the doors. She said, I had other bills I had to pay. Well, they would have taxed her a little more because she in a $10,000 a month home. So they would have added a little razzle dazzle on the price. So that she probably would have had to pay like $1,500 for the doors. But she said, child, I didn't get them doors fixed. F them doors, child. And then they want to know what happened. You seen him later? She said, I miss my man. My man. Okay. She said, I missed him after that. She missed him. Okay. She missed that man. And that's on period, poo. She ain't think about them doors, child. F them doors. Honey. They say no locked doors anyway. Okay, she said they be saying no locked doors anyways. So, shoot. F them doors, honey. F that. It's a whole lot going on. You said, well, the house was $10,000 a month, but that was not money that she had to then get paid $10,000 and then pay the bills. From my understanding, he was paying the $10,000. So, you know, crazy. Ooh, not y'all talking about whether or not she should have custody of her child. Oh, dang. What? I didn't mean to click that. Y'all wondering if she should have custody of her child? That's crazy. Where are we at? Boy, where the latest tweet go? He haven't posted a new tweet yet. Child, what's happening right now? Ay. You said how long is? I don't know. They said she was gonna be on the stand for a few days though. I think Armand said that she was projected to be on the stand for 5 days. That's a long time. That is a long time.
Become an arrestor. Should he do it? I would do it if I was Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it's a great thing. He's done a terrible job. Look.
Child, it's too much noise for me. Trump is calling for Gavin Newsom to get arrested following the ICE protests. It says Governor Newsom has responded after President Trump has voiced his support for the arrest of the sitting state governor. While speaking to reporters at the White House Monday, Donnie responded to a question from Fox News correspondent regarding the ongoing back and forth between Governor Gavin Newsom and Trump's border. It says the reporter asked Trump, should he do it? referring to Hammond arresting Newsom. Trump responded, "I would do it if I were Tom." Newsom, the president of the United States, just called for the arrest of a sitting governor. And then Newsom said, "The president of the United States just called for the arrest of a sitting governor. This is a day I hoped I would never see in America. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. This is a line we cannot cross as a nation. This is the unmistakable step forward to authoritarianism." Child, a whole lot going on. So, you said what advice to a new YouTuber? Just get going. I mean, how often you drop, it's literally the rules change every day. So, the main golden rule is to, whenever you get started, to be consistent. So I'm thinking that they're asking her if they did she see him again? And it says basically, we were trying to have a Sunday fun day, but it was like tense. Did you and Sean talk with Jonathan? She said, Sean FaceTimed Jonathan, asking him what he saw that night. For a moment, Jonathan saw me in the corner crying. So, see, this is the part where all this time that we've been waiting for Inner City Press to type, we done missed some of the context here. But I'm going to assume that she done met up with him again and somebody saw him put the beats on her, or saw a fraction of him putting the beats on her, and it's whoever this Jonathan person is. You said, what's the average rent in California? $10K monthly has to be for the uber rich and famous. Not right now. The average rent is like almost $3,000 for basic. So, people, like, the average rent is probably like $2,600 for a 2-bedroom. So, $10,000 in LA for a house. And this time, after COVID, I mean, it was a nicer spot, obviously, but it's expensive out here. For real. It's some new units that just dropped next to where I live, and I called them to see like how much they starting at for a 2-bedroom. Of these new units that just got built, they start for a 2-bedroom at $3,400. So, you know, child, it's expensive. She said they shot a video of Sean and out in my yard. Did you inadvertently film your injuries? She says, yes, my welts. And when you learned that Sean went to Wyoming, she said, I was outraged. He was with another woman. Did you block him? Yes. So it sounds like somebody shot a video of her and the situation with Diddy. Or a piece of it. Sounds like. Yeah. Yeah, you could go to the outskirts, like Reese said, to places like Lancaster and Palmdale, but even those places are starting to be high as hell too. And those is in the damn Bumbaclot boonies. Bumbaclot boonies. And the prices that I mentioned was for apartments, not even a house. You start talking about house prices, child, it's a mess. It's a mess out here. I'm like, child. Yes, inflation is alive and well and horrible. I'm like, I see why people say it's cheaper to keep her or him in these times, child, because child going half on the rent is better than paying the full rent by yourself. Expensive. Expensive. All right, so they wanted to know, okay, you blocked him after you seen he took another girl to Wyoming. And then they wanted to know how long did you block him for? And she said 2 or 3 weeks. Then I saw that his mother had been hospitalized. I wanted to put what happened between us to the side. He said this was just too far for me. I saw you had me in a box. Do you saw the name of the rapper? What? See, man, what is the context to that? Do you saw the name of the rapper? What? Context is missing. You said most people in Cali have roommates. Yeah. The only roommate I got is my 12-year-old. My roommate is my 12-year-old that don't pay no bills. Okay. What do people call their kids? They broke bestie. My broke bestie. I know, right? We can see straight into the courtroom. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm deciding on if I want to go back to New York so I could give y'all the inside scoop from the inside scoop. But I feel like it's already so many freaking YouTubers there. I'm like, every single day it's another YouTuber, another YouTuber, another YouTuber, another content creator. It's like tens of thousands of millions of them already there. You know? Yes, I was born and raised in California. California knows how to party. Yeah. For real. Most definitely. But let's see. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Hit the like, hit the like. Then we gotta wait so long until another pop up. Damn. Never that. Never that. What y'all talking about? Yeah. Am I going to interview anyone from this week? No. Nope. There's no updates with Naziah until there is the trial. There's really nothing else to pop up. I mean, we already know everything. The only thing that we didn't know about is where her body was. Now, from here to the trial, if they find her body, then that'll be news. But there's really gonna be no new news with Naziah until the trial. So there's really nothing to update unless you update on the side very irrelevant side family drama that they have going on. To me, that's not relevant to me. Other people, they get views off of, like, what did this family member say, or what assumption did this person make, or what guess did this tarot card reader say, or what did this person who says they're a psychic, what did they say? Where did they, I don't report stuff like that. I don't give a damn about any of that kind of stuff. I like the meat and potatoes, the facts, not the guesses and the assumptions and the maybe, or this family member said they think it might be, or it may have been. We like the facts and the meat and potatoes. All right. We like the facts and the meat and potatoes. So, I don't be covering all that kind of side story plots and all of that kind of stuff. Which, I mean, it would make me money, but I don't be caring for all of that. I don't be caring for all of that. So they said, so I'm like, we are missing context here. Like something we're missing here. It says, I flew on a red eye to meet Sean. We had a really nice time. Sean said, you could tell me when you're tired. What did you say? Let's stop for now and see each other later. His demeanor changed. Is this a freak off? Like, let's stop what? Let's stop dating? Oh, yeah. I feel like we're missing something here. It's like we're missing something here. Hey. But yeah, Armand is doing his damn thing. He damn sure is. I was talking to Armand yesterday, his crazy tail self. But yeah, he definitely doing a damn thing. Doing a damn thing for sure. I don't know what the context is. I'm starting to get a headache. I'm a little hungry. So we are probably going to stop right there. You said any updates with your friend in Indiana? Yes. Matter of fact, let me try to call Lucky while I'm on live. Let me see if this heifer answer. She been calling me a lot more lately. Let's see if she answer. Her phone was going to voicemail yesterday. What is going on? She called me yesterday and then she was like, I'm going to call you back. I'm going to call you back. And then I tried to call her back yesterday. Her phone went to voicemail. It's going to voicemail today too. What's going on, friend? Let me try again. Let me see. Yeah, her phone going to voicemail. I don't really know about that one. But as for how she's doing a lot better. So she's at the point to where she kind of wants more independence. So she basically kind of like calls and like vents about not being able to fully like fend for herself and having to depend on other people to do things for her that she needs done. So she kind of vents about stuff like that. She's out of the hospital. She's not in the hospital right now. She's staying with a friend, and she still is not able to walk yet. So she has to still rehabilitate and go to physical therapy to be able to walk. She said that she's able to go to the bathroom on her own and she doesn't need help going to the bathroom, but going in and out of the house, like sometimes she want to go out the house to like have a breather or like go on a porch. And the way that the wheelchair is, like she needs assistance to go out of the house or to like she's able to make like simple things, like she can make her eggs for herself, but like she needs assistance with a lot of like basic stuff too still. So she's kind of at the point to where she's getting better but kind of frustrated because she wants her full independence. So that's kind of like the latest update. Did I see the YouTuber that, yeah, I seen the headline for it. I did not watch the video though. I seen the headline, I seen them on the strip, and then I clicked off. All right, so they say so she went on a red-eye flight to meet Sean, and what did you do? We had a really nice time. Sean said, you could tell me when you're tired. What did you say? Let's stop for now and see each other later. His demeanor changed. He said, a man spends all this money on you and you say you're tired. He threw water on me. He called me a itch. He gave me an ecstasy pill. What happened? Sean was celebratory. He said, let's go. Did Paul come to Miami? Yes. Did Paul come to 2-Star? Yes. I was given a spray bottle, liquid Molly into my mouth. I felt a surge of high octane energy. You know, she basically sounded like she felt the urge that a honey pack give. All right. And then she says, Paul comes in. I greet Paul with that energy. And then she and Paul did the do in front of Sean. So it sounds like they had another freak off. But when though? When is this timeline? I don't know what this timeline is. It says, when was the last time you saw Sean in person? She says August 2024 at Star Island. Did you have a shaboing session with Don in front of Sean? She says yes. So the last time she saw him in August 2024, she did a freak off with Don. And then it says one last text message. The last one I'll ask you to look at. So now they're having her look at another text message because all the way in August, she had to do a freak off with Don when did Diddy get arrested? Hold on, let me see. What day did Diddy get arrested? Oh, he got arrested in September. So he had her still doing freak offs in August, and then he got arrested the month later. And remember, when he got arrested, he was supposed to turn himself in. So he was supposed to turn himself in, and they had agreed on a day that he was going to turn himself in. And when they raided the hotel room, it was set up like a freak off. He had all of the mood enhancers. He had all of the party favors. He had all of the baby oil. He had all of the things that he would have during these freak offs the day before he was set to turn himself in. But the government decided, instead of waiting for him to turn himself in, they decided that they were going to move in a day earlier. So they went in a day earlier and interrupted his proposed freak off, and he got arrested. So she wasn't even the one who was about to do the freak off when he got arrested. So who was the September 16th freak off candidate? Because what one don't do, another one will. So who was the other candidate? It had to be somebody that he had some type of trust that they wasn't going to talk. Somebody that he already had prior dealings with. Somebody that already he knew that after Cassies lawsuit, they didn't run to try to shake him down if he was smart. So who was he with September 16th, a month after the last time he was with Jane? Because the hotel room was set up like a when he got arrested. It says, did you go to New York to see him? No. Why not? He was arrested. Did you get a subpoena? Yes. I had to come in November 2024, then January 2025, and after. Did you see a therapist? 3 months now. All right. So she's been in therapy for 3 months now. So they said she wasn't the one that went to do the freak off in September. So if it wasn't you, who was it? So it sounds like they're ending her testimony, and we can probably get to the defense cross maybe tomorrow by the pace of how they've already approached her timeline with him up until he was arrested. So, because they went on a timeline. And so now we're at the timeline of his arrest. She stopped shaboinging him a month before that. So then that tells me that her testimony with Diddy, I mean, how, it can only be so much that happened. So many questions that they can ask what happened since he's been arrested. Either he's been harassing her or not harassing her. But, I mean, so it sounds like we can get to cross tomorrow. They say, do you have an attorney for this case? Yes. Who is paying? Sean. I am still processing. Nothing further. Crosses tomorrow. That's what I thought. Sounded like it. I knew it had to be over. Because they had met the timeline. So I knew, all right, boom. So tomorrow, whoever this attorney, whoever always does the objections is the one that's going to cross her. So whoever this Estavo person, Diddy's lawyer, Estavo, That's who's going to be the person cross-examining her. Whenever they're doing whenever the prosecution is doing direct examination of a witness, and Diddy's whichever lawyer of Diddy's is handling the objections is the lawyer that's going to do the cross. So whoever this Estavo is, what's his name? That's the one that's going to do her cross. Let's see. What's his name? When was there an objection? Hold on. Yeah, Estavo. Let's see who this is. Oh, this is a woman, Ana Estevao. However you say her name. Oh, okay, I remember seeing her. Okay. She was whatever on cross. All right, well, that's all for today. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out, y'all. And y'all know y'all can always donate to the stream, niquelaclaire.com, or y'all could support via Cash App. If you enjoyed the stream and you enjoyed going through the excerpts of what Inner City Press put out, let me know down below, because if y'all don't enjoy it, if y'all don't support it, we're gonna find other topics to talk about to get our coin, okay? Because baby, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. But all right, y'all, talk to y'all later. And do y'all think that Carisha was